Hello guys, welcome back to my page once again. So in our last post, that was a few days ago, I talked about getting into cybersecurity. If you want to get into cybersecurity, I talk about the things that you needed to do. First of all is the fundamentals. You need to know the fundamentals in cybersecurity. And remember, I mentioned that in that fundamentals, there are some things that you need to do first, which is number one is networking. You need to know about networking. It's very important. I also told you that you can actually do some networking classes on Cisco, and other platforms. Then the second one I talked about is operating system. I talk about operating system. I said you need to know operating system, the different types of operating system we have. I mentioned about Windows, the popular one Windows. You use Windows 10, Windows 11. I also talked about Linux and Unix. And I said about Linux being an open source. That is where all this Android software we are being derived from. Then I also talk about Mac, which is Apple laptops, Apple OS. So I talk about it and I stopped there. So today I'm going into the third one, which is programming language. Rather, programming languages. We have so many programming languages. Yes. In fact, there are too many. But in cybersecurity, there are ones that we normally focus on because those programming languages are the ones that hackers used to write their code, used to write their malicious codes on. So the first one I really want to talk about is Python. Some of you might have known Python. Python is a high-level oriented language, and in cybersecurity, Python is being used for automation. Yes, to automate things. There are some of these apps that you use in penetrative testing, like Nmap, Nessus. All these apps are used to scan network every time to check if there is any threats or if there's any viruses lurking around. So it's Python that we use to automate this task. So you need to have a knowledge of Python. Yes, and to be honest, Python is a little bit easy to learn, more than other programming languages like C++. So you need to know about this Python. You can have a crash course in Udemy, Coursera, other places. Even on YouTube can actually teach you. There are so many thousands of courses on YouTube that you can learn concerning Python. So you need to know Python. I'm not saying that you're going to be an expert, but at least you know things in Python, So, and we move to another programming languages, which is SQL. So it's called structured query language. So SQL is very, very important in cybersecurity, for analyzing of data and other stuff. And there's this popular attacks, malware, or should I say attack, that usually happens with SQL. Yes, they call it SQL injection attack. Yes, when all these cyber criminals tries to target a database, yes, a database. So they used to carry out their virus attack with these SQL codes. Yes, so you need to know about this SQL, know it very well, so that when you encounter this kind of thing in your line of cybersecurity work, you can be able to know, okay, this is SQL injection attack. This is how I will need to mitigate it or prevent it so that it will not fester into the entire system. So that is it. Then the third one is PHP. PHP, most of the websites today are being built with PHP. You also need to have a knowledge of PHP. Then also HTML is also important. You need to know about HTML also. HTML is I think is easy. I think, is it a low level language, but it's easy. Yes, HTML is very, very easy to learn. Within 1 month or 2 months you can actually learn it. Then you also need to know about C++. C++ is quite hard. It's not like Python, HTML. So C++ is not something that you can learn 1 month, 2 months. You need to put an in-depth eye on it. So, but at the same time, all these programming languages I'm talking about, remember, you don't need to be an expert on them. Yes, because for a start, most of you might not even know how to do coding. Me, I'm not a coder. I'm not an expert in coding. In fact, there's so many things I don't know about, but I self-taught myself the things that I know, and also, attend some courses. So you can actually start with a little bit of coding. It's online, it's on YouTube. You can learn all these things by yourself. So that you get acquainted with all these things. So That is it. So just like I'm saying, if you have been watching this video from when I started now, I believe you must have grabbed one or two things. So having known all most of these things, you remember I talked about in the last post about Linux being an operating system that you need to know about command line. This command line is very, very important. Yes, because once you go into cybersecurity, you might be using mostly Linux, especially people that want to do ethical hacking. Yeah, these are the people that carries penetrative testing, and all that. You need to know Linux very well because that is where most of the things are. You have virtual machine there, you have visual lab, all those kind of things, you have it there. And remember I told you, you will be using command line. Yes. And all this command line, you need to know it. So it's very, very important. So these are the things that you need to know. These are the fundamentals in cybersecurity. Sometimes I come online, I see people will come and say, come and do this course with us. We're going to give you a certificate after 1 month or 2 months. You become a certified cybersecurity analyst. I start laughing because this is impossible. It's not even possible. The people that are telling to come and do courses, some of them might not even know how to operate a computer. Yes, some of them might not even know what a programming language is. So it's very dicey. You need to be careful. So just like I said before, if you want to go into this, you need to know all these basics. Yes. Once you know these basics, then it will now be a ladder for you to go higher. And as you're going more, you'll be getting more experience. And so that is, so if this is the first time you're seeing my channel, click the follow button. Remember, I'm still going on the fundamentals in cybersecurity. I'll continue telling you more and more things that you need to learn. And if you didn't watch the first video, go to my page. You see the first video I posted concerning this. So that was a few days ago, so that you can start from there, watch it all. Then from this one, I'll be posting subsequently, so that to guide you how you need to go about it.